So I'm here with two good friends. This is Al Paradise here. We're at the LK10 Conference, and Steve Scheller over here. And I'd like you guys to talk a little bit about the conference. We've been here about 2 days, not quite 2 days so far, and sort of what has this meant to you so far? So either one of you can start.
Why don't you go ahead, Al?
I think for me, it's we were just discussing it. It's been liberating because instead of going out looking for a church, we recognize for the first time this week that we are the church. And so we don't have to be looking for it anymore. We just need to be what Christ wants us to be. And that is so freeing, so liberating. I think that along with the emphasis that we have heard, and we've known about this emphasis, but we've really experienced it this time, of listening to God. Jesus is the head of the church, and we take that for granted. Oh yeah, Jesus is the head, but then let's do what we want to do. And to actually listen to Jesus, because he does have a plan, he does want to talk to us, and for us to spend the time, the discipline of listening, and then interacting with each other and hearing what God is saying to my brother and my sister, and how we can come together and see what God is saying to all of us. Wow, that's been so exciting for me and liberating, and I just can't wait to continue that process with my wife. I want to start a church or two with my daughter. Yeah. Steve and I just started a church.
Just started one, just right here.
Brand new church.
Church
right
planting right here. Ta-da, there it is.
Right here. So it's grown already.
You and I have been in the same table church. We've kind of divided everybody up in little groups. And you shared, you'd gone to seminary, and yet for a lot of years, you were pretty frustrated with church. Talk about the frustration and kind of what you've experienced in the last month or so that you've been in Steve's house church.
Well, for probably 40 years since I've become a Christian.
40 years, wow.
I've always questioned, what are we doing? The things that I would hear and that I would teach myself. We're here to equip the saints for ministry, but the saints are never getting equipped. We're a church of 1,000 ministers, and we're going to reach the community, and the community never gets reached. And so a lot of the things that I kept hearing and teaching myself was really not happening. Yeah. And I began.
And you were in positions of leadership, like an elder and different things, teacher, different things.
I've been an elder in 5 different churches,
wow.
And I've been on staff at one church. And so I've experienced the inside workings of the church. I've been totally frustrated and constantly would challenge elders. Can we think differently? Can we ask the Lord about what we're doing here? And of course, everybody knows, no, this is the way we do it, you know. And doing it the same way, when it doesn't work and it doesn't even seem to be biblical, always frustrated me. But for some reason, my wife's encouragement was always, well, maybe you could change the church from within. And total failure.
How's that working out for you?
It hasn't worked out at all. Yeah. And so we really got to the point where we basically walked away from the organized traditional church, and felt kind of guilty about that. People would ask us, where do you go to church? I'm really not going anywhere right now. And immediately people look, oh, you know, it must be sin in your life.
Backsliding or something.
You're backsliding. Something's going wrong. But through this process, and Mitzi found Steve online, actually.
This is in Colorado Springs, where you guys both live, yeah.
And Mitzi found Steve's, where they were meeting online, and we began attending. And that has been just freeing. First, that was a little frustrating too, because see, my mentality is that we got to have a little more structure. I mean, who's going to do the teaching, and what do we do with the kids, and what about the offering, and you just all the stuff that you bring in, And so at first it was a little frustrating, and I wanted to maybe change some things and see some things happen a little differently. But Steve is so patient, and what I've learned from Steve and from you as well this weekend is listen to the head. Listen to the head. He knows what he's doing. This is his church.
Imagine that.
You know, it's such a revolutionary thought. You know, listening to Jesus. What a concept. As Christians.
That's great.
And so I'm embarrassed to tell you that I'm after 43 years of walking with Christ. I'm now really learning to really listen to Him and to do what He wants me to do. Trust and obey. A song that I learned as a brand new Christian.
It's a great
Trust
song.
and obey. There's no other way. It's actually becoming a reality in my life right now.
Wow. Thank you, Al. Fantastic.